one and all, welcome to another Friday Waffle. It's that time again. This is this is the first waffle of 2017. It's funny when I say that, it's quite bizarre to think I started this whole thing. I think it was in 2013. So technically, this is the fourth kind of year that I'm in doing this thing. What started off as something for a bit of laugh, it's still going sort of 3 years later. Very bizarre. Now, yeah, you can probably tell I have a cold. Now, I'm not one of these, I don't do the whole man flu things. I don't believe man flu is an illness. I always think that if you've got the flu, then you're bedridden. You know, if you've got the flu, you can't walk about. I've just got a bad cold, which is a bit annoying because, well, I don't really get ill. I mean, I've not had the cold for quite a long time, probably a good couple of years. But the annoying thing for me is it really affects my running. And I've actually been running pretty well the last probably 6 months, probably the last 2-3 months in particular. And then I go and pick up this bloody bad cold, which has just knocked me for six. I've been out running a couple of times and struggled majorly. I am feeling a wee bit better. Excuse me, I've had it for a week. I am feeling a wee bit better. It's always the usual at night time. It seems to kind of get worse. I'm hoping to get back out running on Sunday. I'm just going to wait and see. But I hope you've had a decent week. I had a turn to work on. In fact, you know what? Whoa! Let's just rewind and start from scratch. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm forgetting this is the first talkie video that I've made this year. I went back to work on Wednesday this week. As much as I wouldn't say I was delighted to be back at work, I was kind of glad to get back to work, just to get back into normal, get a bit of routine going. Because when I was off during, between Christmas and New Year, I wasn't getting up till 10:30 in the morning, which is just ridiculous. Half the day's away by then. So yeah, been back at work the last 3 days. It's not been too bad because I think a lot of staff are still off, so we'll no doubt get busier next week. But aye, my Hogmanay, it was very, 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 very quiet. We stayed up in Scotland. Up here, the tradition tends to be you watch BBC One. BBC One they always have a New Year's show or a Hogmanay show as they call it. It's the same thing over and over and over again. You could literally be watching one from 5 years ago. Other than the hairstyles, you wouldn't actually know it wasn't a current one you were watching. So we stayed up, watched a bit of that, brought the new year in, and then I was in bed by about 12:30. In fact, I actually ended up, what did I do? I ended up watching, it's like the American Robot Wars. I ended up watching that on TV, and then I went to my bed. But yeah, that's been very quiet. So apart from me having the cold, excuse me, and returning to work, it's been fairly quiet. Gaming wise, what have I been doing? I was actually playing. I've been playing my main cab a fair bit this week. I've been getting right into Galaga 88 as they call it. I did excuse me, I've still got a runny nose. Just wiping it on my arm, it's just disgusting. What was I talking about? Yeah, I made a Meister 10-minute mashup on Galaga 88 and I've been playing it. I did it on the PC Engine version, which is excellent, but I've been playing it on the arcade and it's a lot more difficult on the arcade, but really enjoying it. Been playing it a fair bit. And then the night before I think it was, my daughter and I, what were we playing? We were playing Rodland. That's been it. Not been playing any current gen stuff at all, I don't think. No, I've been playing a bit of Gears of War 4. Excuse me, we'll have a drink out of my festive mug. Been playing a bit of Gears of War 4. Not played it for a few days. I've also bought, one of my mates was selling Skyrim, the new Skyrim, but I think it's a remastered version for the PlayStation 4, so I got that off him. I should get that tomorrow. I'll not be playing that right away because I've still got the Uncharted to play. Yeah, I've still got a few games I really need to try and get through in the PS4, but I've not been playing much in the PS4 at all, I've got to say. So that's been it. That has been my week. What have I been in the news? Have I been looking at anything in the news? Yeah, I noticed the people that are making the Sinclair Vega Plus, which is basically a handheld Spectrum. They've put out a video saying, "Are you ready?" It's getting released. I think it's getting released at the end of February, something like that. Which is a bit ironic considering they promised people they were going to get it would be released in September last year. So they're somewhat 5 months overdue with it. But I always laugh when I see people going overboard with excitement on something like a handheld Spectrum. I've been playing Spectrums on the move since, I would probably say, 2002, when I first got my Game Pack, which is a very, very old Chinese handheld, which was primarily written to run emulators. Google it, GP Game Park 32, and then I got a great machine is the PSP. Once you get custom firmware on that, I use that for playing various emulators, and now obviously I've got my GP DXD, which we'll not talk about, since I only got 20. What did I get? I got £29 for it in parts. Yeah, you probably know that it fell over after a year. So me and GBT are not the best of mates anymore. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but you know, it was a great machine, but the reliability is pants. But yeah, I've got a Spectrum emulator on my Nvidia Shield portable. So I just think it's quite funny when you see people getting mega excited about this portable Spectrum. You know, we've been playing portable Spectrums for many years. It just doesn't have that wee rainbow thing stuck in the bottom right hand corner. I've written a couple of things. What else did I do? Yeah, I also went to see the new Star Wars Rogue One. I saw it last week. Got to say, I'm guessing you've probably seen it by now, you know. If not, you need to get along and see it. I was one of the late people to see it. I saw it last Thursday, I think it was. Not yesterday, but the Thursday beforehand. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent. I'm not going to spoil it in any shape or form, other than to say it felt like one of the original Star Wars films. There's a few surprises in it, but really enjoyed it. Probably, yeah, I'm not going to go and see where it is in my favourite Star Wars films, but I would say it's definitely up there as one of the best Star Wars films, in my opinion. So if you've not seen it, go and see it. I didn't see it in 3D because I think the only showing was going to be something ridiculous at like 11 o'clock at night. I saw it in this normal 2D, which was excellent anyway. Apparently, the 3D one's not really, you don't gain anything too much by it. So yeah, Rogue One, yeah, definitely worth going to see. I did mention last week about, for a laugh, making up some Mainmeister mugs, which I have done. Now, surprisingly, I have managed to sell. I've ordered 5. I've managed to sell all 5. And one of the people, I don't mind, I'm going to name him here. One of the people that has ordered one, which I'm quite honoured actually, the fact that he's taken one off me, is Lawn Boys Post 1975. Dave was in touch and saying that he wants one. So, and he even wants me to sign it. So I'm going to spoil a perfectly good mug with me writing on it. But yeah, as I says, guys, it's not because I'm getting going up my own backside thinking I'm famous, anything like that. It was just a bit of a laugh. You know, to raise money for a good cause. Every penny. I think it's costing, when by the time I factored in £2 for me to post a mug onwards, you know, within the UK, might be more than that, I don't know, but all I'll be charging is like the £2. So I basically worked out the cost per mug, including delivery, for me to send it on is about £8. So I figured £11 a mug gives £3 donation to the Macmillan Nurses, which is a fantastic charity. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to know anyone that's had cancer, chances are Macmillan Nurses have helped them. Once they do arrive, I think it's 2 weeks before they come out. Once they do arrive, I'll let you see what it looks like. If you want one, please let me know. I think I've got one more person. There's one person I actually forgot. He was wanting a mouse mat, so I need to get that ordered. But yeah, I said I ordered 5 and 5 have been sold. If you want one, let me know. But I'll let you see it. I'll let you see it once it arrives, probably in the next week, 2 weeks. I'll let you see how it looks. It's got my ugly mug in it. It's got bollocks across the back, and it's also got the wee Mainmeister logo, the little berserk thing. But I was actually hoping to keep one for myself and to stick it up there on the shelf that I can look back long after my YouTube channel has closed down. I can show my grandkids and say, your old granddad used to have this thing called a YouTube channel, and they'll think I was more famous than I am. But yeah, that's been it, guys. Excuse me, let me get another wee drink of my tea. So thank you to all the people that have bought the mugs, but I'll mention more about that next week or the week after. Do you always like a video, i.e. do you always hit the like button if you like a video? If you watch a video and you like it, do you always like it? I do. What's kind of surprising, is that the right thing to say? I've noticed, based on the number of views that I get, there are a very, very, very small percentage of people that actually like the video. I suppose as somebody who maybe just watches videos, they probably don't really give it any thought to go and like it. They watch a video and they move on, and I was probably the same. I think now the fact that I make videos, I'm conscious that likes do help videos. It does help the YouTuber. So anytime I watch one of my mates, fellow YouTuber videos, I always like it. Unless I didn't like it, then I wouldn't like it. But I don't think I've actually ever watched a video that I've not enjoyed. So I always make a point of liking it, and I usually put a comment below as well. One thing I've noticed is I've had very, very little time to actually watch videos. I mean, I've only subscribed to, I don't know, maybe 40-50 channels, and you know, probably 99% of the content that gets put out by these guys I don't watch. I just simply don't have the time. There's just so much other things I want to do in my time, so I've really not been watching as much YouTube content as I would like. I mean, I've got all my favourites that I like to watch, and I do try and watch them as best I can, but you know, I'm sure you guys are the same. Time is limited, and you know, you don't want to spend your whole life watching YouTube videos, although that tends to be the majority of my, if I watch anything, it's generally on YouTube. I really don't watch much on the TV sort of thing. So do you always like a video? If you enjoy watching a video, will you always hit that like button? I'm just intrigued as to if you would do that, when you would do it, when you wouldn't do it. I said I always make a point of doing it, and all I can see, guys, is for people who make videos, it does help us if you like a video. You know, it takes a second to do. So maybe the next time you watch somebody's video, think about hitting that like button if you do enjoy it. Obviously, you want to subscribe as well, you'd hit the subscribe button. But anyway, enough of my witterings. Now, I've actually turned the light down in this room tonight because I noticed the last time I had it up full, and it kind of, maybe because I've not got much here, I was kind of looking very, very shiny, too bright. I don't know whether I'm going to look not bright enough in this one, I don't know. But anyway, I've got two questions. I've got two sets of questions here. First, from Kev Robbins 61. Thank you, Kev. back in the day when I had a Spectrum 48K Plus, I would get your Sinclair User, etc., magazines, and in most issues you would get games printed in BASIC for you to input. It would take hours to input, and that was with the help from my girlfriend, now my wife. Oh well, she's stuck with you, Kev. She mustn't, obviously it didn't put you off. It didn't put her off, you typing in games. Now my wife dictating for me, and sometimes they would just not work, annoyingly. Did you ever do this in any of your systems? And if so, did you encounter the same problems due to printing errors in the magazine? I've got to say, Kev, I didn't do it very often for a couple of reasons. The Commodore 64, you could have a game anytime they printed a listing for the Spectrum. It would be maybe 2.5, 3 pages. The Commodore 64 was always like twice as long, so any listing for a Commodore 64, it used to run, it was like double the amount of pages, so maybe 5 pages, and I just could not be arsed typing it in. Absolutely ball breaking to actually do it, or ball aching, whatever you want to call it. So that used to put me off. But the other reason, there wasn't very many typing games for the Commodore 64. Certainly not compared to like the Spectrum and, you know, your Acorn Electron, your BBCs and stuff like that. I don't know why. Maybe just because the BASIC wasn't as good, I'm not sure. But as I say, there wasn't that many type-ins for the C64. Certainly not that I saw anyway. And the fact that they were almost like twice as long as any other computer, I just couldn't be bothered. But there's 2 instances where I did type them in. Now, both times I had help from my pal Grant, and the first one that we did, I can't remember what the game was, I've no idea. We typed it in and it took us, I don't know, it probably took us the best part of 3-4 hours to do. We typed it in, and rather foolishly, instead of saving it, as soon as we finished it, we were that desperate to play the game, as soon as we finished it, we typed run, and it went to a black screen, and that was it. And we sat and we sat and we sat and nothing happened. Then when I tried to press run stop, which used to kind of exit a BASIC program, nothing happened. So that was it. We left it for maybe half an hour and nothing happened. Press the fire button, nothing happened. Eventually we had to turn it off. So all these hours invested was completely lost. So that probably put me off ever doing it again. The only time I ever actually typed a code in again, it was a Zap 64. I can never remember, was it called Zap 64 or just Zap? I think it was called Zap. Was it? I can't remember. I mean, I bought the Zap magazine from day one. Anyway, we'll call it Zap. I typed in, they actually published, I mean, they never ever published games to be typed in. But this one time they published a program which was written by Andrew Braybrook, he of Uridium, Paradroid, Gribbly's Day Out, what do you call it? Alley Cat fame. They published a program by him. Now what this program did, apparently, it increased the speed of your computer by 20%. So basically what you did is you typed in this game, you saved it, you then ran it, and it would reset, and then you loaded your game, and then what it would do, it would actually increase the speed by 20%, which seemed incredible. So I think my mate, I think he helped me, I think he probably did. Me and Grant, we sat and we typed in this bloody BASIC program, and I don't know how long it took us. It took us quite a long time, and we saved it, and we ran it, and it came up April Fool. Yeah, Google it. It was a famous April Fool in Zap, courtesy of Mr. Andrew Braybrook, and I always maintain if I ever do happen to get him on an interview, I'm going to pull him up for that. That's 4 hours of my time I'll never get back again. Looking at it now, it did seem too good to be true, and that's because it was, but as a rather non-techie 18-year-old, I wouldn't have questioned it. When somebody like Zap and Andrew Braybook tell you that it's going to do this, then who am I to disagree with them? So yeah, that was the one that, well, that was the only twice, Kev, that I actually typed in any games. I don't think I can recall ever typing in anything apart from these two games. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks for the question, Kev. Yeah, that moment where I have just spent 20 minutes talking and only to discover it wasn't recording. So if this second part is any less than enthusiastic, it's because I've already went over everything. But anyway, that's my own stupid fault. Yeah, from one Kev to another Kev. Thanks for the questions, Kev. Mr. Down the Rabbit Hole Variety. Kev is asking, they say this year will be the end of the Wii U life cycle, especially now that the Switch is coming, but will it also be the end of the 3DS? If so, isn't this the first time Nintendo have had just a single console since the NES days? Now, I am aware that the Wii U is no longer going to get produced. There's going to be no further Wii U's getting made, which I've already spoke about. 3 years for one console is not particularly good value for money, I don't think. I'm guessing if they're not going to be selling it, I'm guessing there's not going to be any new games coming out for it. So you're basically going to be left with the games you've got for it. Now you're saying here about, will it all, so you're asking me, do you think it will be the end of the 3DS? I would like to hope not. Excuse me. In fact, I would go as far as to say that if they decided to knock the 3DS on the head, I would probably abandon supporting Nintendo ever again, because the 3DS is still a very, very capable machine. In fact, when you think about it, the 3DS is the only commercially available handheld gaming handheld console that we've got just now. The PS Vita died a slow, lingering death. In fact, did it ever take off? I don't think it really did. So yeah, the 3DS is still alive and kicking. I mean, there's a lot of people that probably use the 3DS and as their sole form of gaming. They don't play big machines. So I'd be very surprised, Kev, if Nintendo decided to ditch it. That would be a bit silly. I mean, this Nintendo Switch thing, yeah, it's going to have the portability side of things. But from what I gather, it's going to be to allow you to play the big games, the big games that you play on a big TV. It's going to allow you to play them on the move. Now, one thing about the Switch, I mean, I did say when the Switch first got announced about 6 months ago, I categorically stated that I would not be buying one because it's not got any interest for me. I've been rethinking that. I mean, I've always been a big Nintendo fan. I always think that the games that they put out are wonderful. Not everyone, I'm not a Zelda fan at all, but the playability of a Nintendo game is second to none, and they're probably the best games producers out there, in my opinion. But one thing that annoys me and annoys a lot of people is the fact that they insist on putting out hardware which is already outdated. I mean, the Wii came out after the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and it was far, far less capable of either of these two machines. Now this Switch, it's not even out yet, and it's not as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox, which have been out for like 2 years now, 3 years, something like that. So why do they do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. The way I see it is they're basically missing a trick with bringing out old hardware. If they brought out cutting edge technology that incorporated 4K and the latest technology, like a bit like the PS4 Plus, if they brought out a machine that was that good, then they're going to get more of your hardened gamers. Most modern gamers aren't interested in playing, even stuff like the 360. That's old hat. That's ancient technology. So bringing out a machine like the Switch, and it's going to be running outdated technology, yeah, it might be absolutely fine for what they want it to do, but it just doesn't make any sense. I'd love somebody from Nintendo to explain why why they insist on bringing out outdated technology. Yep, they bring out novel, innovative ways to play games, but the hardware they bring out is always out of date, which I just don't get my head around at all. But yeah, I would be very surprised, Kev, if they dropped the 3DS. I think it would be financial suicide to do that, because it's such a big seller. It's there's the 3DS. It kind of caters for the sort of the casual gamer. That's the right word I was looking for. Casual gamer, people who are not interested in sitting playing a console in the house. They'll maybe pick up a 3DS when they're commuting to work, playing in the train, whatever. So I think they'd be off their head to do that. If they do, I would certainly rethink about buying a Switch. But anyway, yeah. Now, secondly, someone on YouTube recently talked about the new Crash Bandicoot game coming out, and one thing he said was that he doubts teenagers today even know how to play a traditional 3D platformer. Ava, that's my daughter, is about that age. Does she have any trouble playing this older style of game? Ava's never played, that I'm aware, played Crash Bandicoot. I mean, she's played a lot of old systems. I mean, considering her dad has got, 30, possibly 30 systems all connected up, ready to be used. She has played a lot of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, she'll never come to me and say, Dad, can you put the Mega Drive on, or can you put this? Well, no, I was going to say, can you put the Saturn on? She was playing, what was she playing? She was playing the 101 Dalmatians on the Sega Saturn. She'll play the PS2. She'll not play the SNES. She doesn't really play any of my computers because she doesn't know what they are. She's never really been exposed to a Commodore 64. I think that'd be pushing it a bit much if I tried to get into it. But I mean, we were playing, I mentioned earlier on, we were playing Rodland on the MAME cab. If I fire up a game, 2-player game, I'll say to her, Ava, do you want to play this? She'll quite happily play it. But getting back to topic, she's never played Crash Bandicoot. I don't think you're saying would they even know how to play it. I mean, games like that, Kev, are quite simple. So I don't think the not having the ability to play it would be part of it. I think it's more, would modern gamers be interested in playing it? Most modern gamers want to play the latest FIFA, the latest Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. If you were to ask them to play a game that looked like a PlayStation game, they'd probably run 100 miles from it. Though I'm guessing if the Crash Bandicoot is brought out with revamped graphics and it looks current gen, then I dare say people will play it. It's not a difficult game to play. In fact, now you've mentioned it, I'll need to go and play it because it was an excellent game. It was one of the games that really knocked my socks off when I got it for the PlayStation. So, interesting to see what happens, Kev. And lastly, to finish off, Kev's asking, if a developer wants to introduce older games to a newer audience, sometimes they add the ability to swap between classic graphics and modern graphics at the touch of a button. For example, R-Type Dimensions or Halo Master Chief Collection. Do you think that's an effective way to lure new gamers to old titles? I don't think they would put that in to get new gamers to play, because you get a 12-year-old kid, he's not interested in playing R-Type if it's got the original graphics from 1986. He would only want to play it if it had HD graphics. I think they possibly put that option in to appeal to guys like ourselves who remember the originals, we played the originals, and I personally love the fact that you can just change in a whim. I've never played Halo Master Chief, but it's interesting you're saying you can actually change in game. The thing I love about R-Type is the fact that you can actually be playing it and just, as you say, just stab a button and immediately you're transformed across. I don't think they do that to appeal to new gamers. I think they'll obviously, the game we're talking about that I was mentioning, Skyrim, is an old 360 game. It's got an HD remake. There's been quite a few games over the years that have had HD makeovers, obviously to bring an old game up to scratch to encourage new people to play it. So yeah, I don't think they would put that option in. appeal to newer players. But it's a nice thing to have, but I don't think they do it to to sort of try and lure new players. I think they would only expect the good graphics. I think the fact that you can go back to pixelated graphics would only appeal to probably guys like ourselves. But anyway, listen, thanks for the questions, guys. I do appreciate it. There has been a bit of a lack of questions. Please continue to give me as many questions as you can. Topics, anything at all, guys, because as I've mentioned before, without the questions, I really don't have a Friday Waffle. I do struggle for content, so I do rely on your questions to come in, anything at all. That is it. I hope you have a nice weekend. Thank you as usual to all the wonderful support. The questions is absolutely, not the questions, all the comments are just awesome. I really enjoy going through all them and always try and reply a lot. I've been a wee bit slow at replying to them. Thanks to all the continued support from all subscribers. Welcome to any new subscribers I've got. I hope you see enough here to warrant you staying and supporting the channel. It is always appreciated. And that is about it, guys. So anyway, have a nice weekend, and as usual, thank you very much for watching.